a lot of people really just talking and they ain't thinking. They just want to just blame the police, you know. And I totally get it. It's an uncommon situation, you know. How often do we hear of people running from the police and dying from an injury? You know what I'm saying? But people going off of what's being reported, and I think this was falsely reported in the first place because nobody got shot in the situation. When you hear the police coming out with the actual report, nobody got shot. There was shots fired. So also, I don't think we really taking into account all the aspects of the situation. You know, this was just a few blocks away from the NCAA men's basketball tournament. You know, this where they playing games at. You know, they got fans out there. These people coming in from out of town to, you know, represent their schools and whatnot. You know, so the police presence, I'm pretty sure, is beefed up around this area. You know, for at least a block away from where young Scooter and them at. You know, so I can only imagine them hearing the gunshot and then someone calling and reporting, because it says someone called and reported the whole situation. So it also mentioned that a girl was drugged into a house along with the gunshot. So imagine this call coming in to the police and how they reacted in dealing with the situation. You know, from the sound of it, it could have been a domestic dispute, and it did say a dispute. So we don't know if it was a problem going on with the girl or the girl working with. We don't know. We know young Scooter. Let's just be real. He's a self-proclaimed drug lord. Okay, all right. So we know the type of business he in. You know what I'm saying? And what is he doing in that area? And he not going to the game. You feel what I'm saying? So we just don't know the whole situation. But with the girl being drugged into the house, it just put, all matters into a whole different perspective for them. So they pulling up, and as they say, a man opened the door and closed the door on them, and two men end up running out the back door. So they pulling up on you. I'm pretty sure they handling this with full force and with all the presence they can, because these kids playing these national basketball games right around the block, they ain't finna take this shit lightly. So I can only imagine how they pulled up. And then you running from them, and you know how police do, y'all. It makes them 10 times madder when you run from them. So it just imagine how they was handling him once they actually got him into custody. Now they say when they came up, they actually, ran up on him. He was hurt from his injury. That's how they got to him. You feel me? So you can just imagine how they was grabbing him and doing him or whatever. And he probably telling them, hey, I'm hurt. You feel what I'm saying? And, they probably ain't believing him. They going through procedure as far as handling him for the situation or whatnot. And we just don't know the time gap that, it was between him getting arrested and him, being, getting some aid. We just don't know the time frame. So pertaining to his injury, they say this injury had to be some type of femur injury, or maybe the cut was so bad to where he was bleeding out, and the time frame between him getting aid and getting to the hospital and stuff, it just wasn't enough time. I'm thinking he possibly could have been, I don't know, a diabetic. Possibly, diabetics don't do real good when it comes to, with cuts and wounds and stuff like that. They don't heal really well. So it can be very detrimental to a diabetic's life with a cut as such. So there's just a lot of factors that we got to put into it. People say, it's the police kill young Scooter or whatnot, but the police ain't make young Scooter run. The police ain't make young Scooter jump them fences. He took off initially himself, and I can only imagine he probably just like, fuck it, I ain't going today. You know what I'm saying? Street guy. We all know this. So it's only imagine what was in that house. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what was in that house. Maybe he was trying to get the attention away from that house pertaining to what was possibly in there. We don't know. And what's up with this other dude? What happened to him? Did he get captured? Did he get shot? It's not saying that he got shot or nothing like that. So, like I say, why would the police want to, delete young Scooter? Why? What would be the motive? What reason for what? They got Young Thug. They got YFN Lucci. They got, all these other different characters. MPA, Pee Wee Longway. So, what would be the reason for them to get him, and why they ain't got him and they done got everybody else? You feel what I'm saying? And with Young Thug court dates and stuff like that, Guess who was there to support him? Young Scooter. So that'll be my question to the people that saying, you know, all the police they killed. Yeah, it sound like that could have been possible, but y'all know body cam gonna come out. Why would the police lie about, you know, something they would have to prove? You know they're gonna want to see that body cam. So here's the initial police report.
The first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive. In Zone 3, officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once
shots was fired, ain't nobody get shot.
Officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, 2 males fled out of the rear of the house. 1 male returned back into the house. The other male jumped 2 fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. That male is going to be a 39-year-old male out of Atlanta. Just to be very clear, the injury that was sustained was not via the officers on scene. It was when the male was fleeing.
See, they being very specific on this whole thing. These folks ain't finna sit here and lie, because they know that body cam ain't gonna lie. You feel what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate, but like I say, you know, the police ain't make Young Scooter take off running. Had he not take off running, would he still be alive today? It's a big possibility he would. You know, like I say, take into the account that the whole reason for them showing up was because of the gunshots. And someone called and reported that. They weren't after Young Scooter. Whatever the situation was that was going on over there, it drew them to him. So all the different speculations and stuff, you know, we got people in the comments saying, you know, something don't sound right. He died from a gunshot in his leg. Y'all, reading is fundamental. Listening is fundamental. You know, that's our community problem now. We can't read and comprehend. You know, compound fracture most likely, where the bone comes through the leg, for those who don't know. You know, that's a big possibility. That's a good one right there. Somebody say, nah, say it ain't so. He died from an injury to his leg while fleeing, but it wasn't from the police, huh? But like I say, you know, people just fail to believe that something like this could have happened when it very well could have. You know, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It just is just one of them freak situations. It's very unfortunate. We have to see the body cam footage first before making judgments. I mean, yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure they already did a medical examination of his body, and they would have reported that he had a gunshot wound, or he died, or he succumbed to a gunshot wound. They would have said that. What would be the reason them not saying it? Like I say, what was the reason? What would be the motives behind them doing this type of stuff? People, y'all gonna make up something for that too? This man took off running. Imagine if he was just said, "Fuck it, I'm caught." Just went ahead and took his charge. Still be alive today. You know, I like Young Scooter, man. You know, he had you know, he was evolving. He was changing. You know, of course, we know the street lyrics and the music content or whatever. You know, the type of rapper he is, but the things that he was doing, you know, in his community, as far as himself, his business. I know he had a son or sons that played basketball. I think he had an AAU team as well. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Somebody say hit an artery in the thigh area and bled out. R.I.P. Scoop. That's possible. I had a partner in an actual football game. He hurt his femur. And I think, you know, it's like it's from internal bleeding, I believe. You know, so I can only imagine with not getting the amount of aid you need in the right amount of time, and then with police probably handling them however they was handling them, because they ain't believing he actually hurt, y'all, unless they just saw him hanging over the damn fence. You feel what I'm saying? And had to get him down, but still, even getting him down, they handling him rough. You know how they do. So man, it's an unfortunate situation, man. Here go Rollo.
Nah, please stop calling my phone. You see what's going on the same way I see what's going on. And nigga, this shit do not feel good at all. My brother, just got killed. And I can't even go slide for him. On top of that, me, his mama, his real family, like this our real core family, like before a rap song, before a dollar came, nigga, we family. I don't want to hear this shit talking about no interviews. I don't want to do no fucking interviews. I don't want to do nothing.
Man, first of all, this ain't about you doing no interviews, and ain't nobody ask you about doing no interview. Now, I'm sure you do have an interview. Somebody gonna ask you about the situation, how you feel, what you know, woo. I get it from that standpoint, but, dude, first of all, he didn't get killed. Well, nobody killed him. It was a self-inflicted thing. Unfortunate freak accident. Number two, you ain't gonna slide. You ain't gonna slide because you can't. Ain't you still on papers, federal papers, my guy? Because I'm really not sure, because you just got free not too long ago, so I'm pretty sure you don't want to put yourself in no type of light like that. Also, if the police did do it, you niggas ain't finna go to war with them. You ain't been, and you damn sure ain't now. So, man, just cut all of that out, man. A lot of people say, nobody hit this nigga up button. Bro, y'all be acting, trying to play Rollo like he wasn't the biggest in ATL. Okay, whatever, he had his run. Of course he finds a way to make it about him. Nigga went to live at Rich Homie funeral, wondering, say he went live at Rich Homie funeral, wondering what he finna do at Scooters. I don't know, man. So, I guess this is the aftermath. The street dudes getting on the camera, man. They don't know how to play too good. But yeah, bro. R.I.P. Scooter, man. Unfortunate situation.